Okay, is this thing on? Hey y'all, hey vlog, hey bud fams, hey chaps. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everything's going good with you. So yeah, I'm doing another book review. This one's really good. It's really interesting. It's called The Articles of Business by Vivian Carli Kistler. And it's a business book, and it takes us through pricing, corporate sales, leasing, employee productivity, financial statements, volume framing, management, advertising, planning for growth, and economic survival. So I'll give you a look at that. It's a pretty good book. Really specific stuff in here. I thought it was a really good read, so I'll just bring you through it. So this one's quick and easy, nice and simple. You got a title page at the front, another title page talking about. So these are the books by Vivian Kistler. You have a library of professional picture framing. So this author owned a picture framing shop. So she did books on picture framing, mat cutting and decoration, and framing needlework. Just get a look at that. So that's most. And then as she's running the business, I guess she learned a whole bunch of other stuff that she shared with the audience, the reader. I'm one of those. And you get a dedication, acknowledgements. So I'll just go through the stories in here. Hopefully this is a quick recap or review, book review. So in the acknowledgement section, it starts off saying, long before trade associations and conventions, Decor magazine provided the art and framing industry with business news and education. Framers and gallery owners could depend on their monthly lessons on matters of mats and mounting. Intro. Focus. Then we get to the contents. So I'll go through the contents as I get to it. But this one's nice and short, so I can just really just skip along here. Skip through the information. So first part of it, you get a forward, then the first section is general business, part one, starting a frame shop or gallery, bookkeeping and accounting, financial statements, the budget, a guide to cash control, credit terms from suppliers, it's part one. So just give you a look at the contents here. Let's see, contents go there. This one's pretty quick and simple. Then part two is management, pricing the customer product, customer service, time management, planning for growth, economic survival. Part three is advertising, so advertising and developing a plan. Part four is commercial sales, volume sales, volume or corporate sales, volume framing, leasing framed artwork, credit department. Then you get to a question and answer section. It talks about general business, personnel, management, production, gallery, merchandising, customer relations, location, advertising, corporate sales, finance, accounting, prices, and pricing. Then it goes to index and appendix. So we get a forward from Vivian Kistler. She's a CPF. She first appeared on pages of Decor in late 1979. In the spring of next year, she was back posing with Pierrot, a 12-foot marionette that was the star of her gallery window display. She served, Pierrot served as a mascot. I'll show you what that word looks like. Focusing on there, it's somewhere in there. Served as a mascot and a primary means of promotion at Kistler Art and Frame in Akron, Ohio, for several years. As a promotion effort, he served the shop well. He cost almost nothing, being made from leftover mailing tubes, plaster of Paris, and cheesecloth. And he was fun. He beckoned customers from the window in a variety of poses, and he promoted the shop by appearing in holiday parades. That's interesting. So Pierrot symbolized the spirit of kistler art and frame. Retailing is a serious business if one hopes to earn a living at it, but it can also be fun. For example, Vivian was discussing at a seminar in Milwaukee various kinds of frame shop equipment. She explained to students the advantages and disadvantages of each, but in her own unmatched style of communication. About a particular brand of mat cutter, Vivian said, "It's kind of like her ex-partner. It's good looking, but it doesn't work." So let's skip along to the next story. So the point is, in more than 20 years of operating a gallery and frame shop, Vivian has been there. It's what makes her advice so noteworthy and useful. Her willingness to share experiences and how she solved them. She endeared her to framers, gallery owners, students, and friends. As endearing as all of this is, however, Vivian realized early in her career as a retailer that solving day-to-day problems and issues was not enough if she hoped to survive and grow. As a former artist and art teacher, she discovered quickly that she was woefully inadequate when it came to running a business. So in quotes, my lack of business training became an annoying handicap. She said, I didn't comprehend the statements my accountants were giving me. I didn't even know the right questions to ask. So, beginning with business courses at Wharton School of Business and continuing with seminars and readings, Vivian learned to comprehend her business and also became an avid student of the art and framing industry as a whole. Over the years, the attention she devoted to the industry has made her an expert in retail operations, in framing techniques, supplies and equipment, and in frame shop and gallery management. As a consultant, to other gallery owners, she has seen a myriad of issues and has helped to find solutions. As a consultant to industry suppliers, she has helped these suppliers connect to the retail customer, devising and offering products that help them solve issues. As a speaker, teacher, and writer, she has shared with the industry issues and solutions from both sides through the pages of Decor. Done. Vivian has served on our panel of quote-unquote Ask the Experts, inviting readers to send in different questions. She has also written numerous feature articles on a wide variety of topics, from advertising to pricing to personnel management to customer service to color and design trends. She is a regular speaker at our ABC show, I guess back then, Learning Center, seminar programs, and is part of the Decor workshop faculty. As the owner, and I guess the author is also the owner of a company called Columba Publishing Company. Vivian has posted a series of her own books and videotapes on framing and has produced a number of books and videotapes by other industry experts as well. She is an outspoken proponent for increasing the level of professionalism among art dealers and framers. She was among the first framers to take and pass her test to become a certified picture framer, and proudly wears the CFP after her name. So, certified picture framer. And then we are stifled proud of our relationship with Vivian Kistler, it says, CPF, and are pleased to have her present this collection of her writings from the pages of Decor. This is written by Alice C. Gibson, CPF, editor of Decor. So let us skip along here. Okay, then we get to part 1, general business. So just skip along, see if I can speed this up. So chapter 1 is starting a frame shop or gallery. Then you have a bunch of questions like to ask yourself, like, what kind of business are you in? This question mark, this or that. What goods and services will you provide? Question mark, this or that. Where's your market? Question mark, this or that. Who will buy? Question mark, this or that. When and why will they buy? Question mark, this or that. And what will your sales strategy? What will be your sales strategy? Question mark, this or that. There's some questions here. That's how it starts off chapter 1. And the questions there. Pretty basic questions that anyone can ask themselves when they're running a business. Then we get to the topic, what is market research, question mark, this or that. And we get some, and it goes through a whole bunch of stuff related to business. So let's see if I can find some good information here. So the term market research covers a broad range of activities. It encompasses the gathering and analyzing of facts relevant to issues arising during the transfer of sales of goods and services. Thus, market research can be used to study and improve almost any aspect of a firm's operation, including location, sales, advertising, display, image, packaging, transportation, and customer satisfaction. Look at the kind of information you should seek. You need to know the trading area and its traffic pattern, the customer profile, age, sex, occupation, income, shopping habits, social standing, and is very important. So too are types of surrounding businesses, their hours, yearly sales, advertising practices, and general appeal. Where do you find this information, question mark? They're here. The following information is available at little to no cost. It will give you a lot about which to think. Just add common sense and personal judgment to all the facts, and you'll be prepared for business. Then we get a list. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on page 4. The local Chamber of Commerce should be able to furnish you with traffic counts and other data. That's number 1. Number 2, the main library in your city or town has a wealth of information in the business and commerce section. You won't need a library card, but you may need money for the photocopier. And then 3, the market research department of the local newspaper has detailed information about buying practices of its readers, including their income, buying frequency, where they buy, and on what they spend their money. And 4 is check the phone book under government offices - federal, quote unquote, or the main branch of a public library for information from the most current census. And then 5 is national and regional industry surveys and trade publications are available. Decor's annual forecast, January issue, and pricing, July issue articles. Those are in round brackets. Articles will help you determine what is selling and at what prices. So, skipping along, we get to more stories and more information. So we get to the topic of the product. So asking yourself questions like, what does my product do for my customer, question mark, this or that. When, question mark, why, question mark, where, question mark, how, question mark, can lead to conclusions about what businesses you're in and possibly direct you to new lines of enterprises. Are you the maker of quality frames or selling a decorative wall item that shows the customer's taste, cultural awareness, and status, question mark, yes or no, or this or that. And then we get to the next topic, the market. We get to the topic, the competition. And then we get to the topic section, the groundwork. Just show you those. So you can see this book covers a lot of business topics. So let us skip along. So chapter 2 is bookkeeping and accounting. So it starts off saying, first, a general description of what bookkeepers and accountants do. A bookkeeper records those events, round brackets, expressed in dollars, which affect the financial condition of the business. A bookkeeper or accountant then classifies, sorts, and summarizes these events to give a condensed picture of the financial condition of the business. So many events may affect the business and so many transactions may take place that the bookkeeper, forward mark accountant must take care to record the course of events and keep the records complete and accurate. Then he goes on to say bookkeeping then is the systematic recording, sorting, and summarizing of events in round brackets in dollars that affect the business financially. Accounting includes and goes beyond bookkeeping. Accounting is also concerned with analysis and interpretation of financial information and with setting up the bookkeeping system. Bookkeeping is recording, accounting is analysis. And then we get the topic of setting up a system. So I'll skip along here. Then the topic of the business entity, balancing the equation with examples of assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Then the initial investment, business transactions, and like a diagram. Then we get to chapter 3, financial statements. And then we see there's chapter 3 here. And then it goes down to the glossary of terms, and there's a big list there. So I'll just skip past that. So skip past those, you get stuff like liabilities, current liabilities, balance sheet, income statement, all the stuff, inventory explained. All of it's explained and interpreted. And then fundamental accounting equation. Examples of income statements, you can see here, she's giving you stuff based on what the shop that she owned, this author. And that's like the items that were included with their day-to-day business operation. So skip along. So we get to operating ratios and inventory turn. Then we get to chapter 4, the budget, topic of the budget, a guide to cash control. Let's see if there's anything good to read in here. 60 minutes. So it says every business needs a budget, exclamation mark. Next to competence, comma, lack of cash control is the most common cause of business failure. This is especially true when the business is growing fast. Flourishing sales bring unexpected expenditures for supplies and payrolls. Soon the gap between receivables and payables widens. With foresight or a budget, comma, you can see that it will take more than 30 days to completely turn over what you bought into and what you sold. So you're going to need more than 30 days to pay for what you bought. Sounds so simple when you put it in plain English. If you had a budget, you could plan expenditures so they would not overtake your receivables. In order to make a budget, comma, we will need a bit of information about your operation. Dig into your files and find last year's profit and loss, also called P&L in round brackets, statement, M-, also called operating income and expense statement, dot. It should be in the same file with your balance sheet, comma, also called a statement of assets and liabilities, dot. So together they represent your financial statement, dot. Now, I realize that most of you don't keep current financial statements, comma, but you must have one for the end of your business year. It's an interesting point. Yeah, this is basic, pretty common system and routine that most businesses follow. So then we get to the topic of compile figures, departmentalize sales, departmentalize purchases, budgeting again, with some other interesting information in there. Then we get to chapter 5, credit terms from suppliers, and we go through some other terms as well. First one I think is dating on there. Yeah, there. Chapter 5, and then it gets to then the next topic is dating. Next topic is ordinary dating. Then next is extra dating, and then EOM dating, advanced dating. So we skip some of these terms. So let us skip along here. Then we get to part 2, management. This book is nice and simple. It's got the topics laid out. It's great. Legal considerations and billings were the previous section at the end. In chapter 6, pricing the customer product. Then we get to the topic of the basic formula and talking about actual costs. Then we get to the topic, so let us skip along here. Then we get to the chapter 7, customer service. And the topics of, next topic is customer courtesy, the next the phone call, the next develop policies, the next underselling. Then we get to chapter 8, time management. There. And the next topic is tracking your time, then next delegating work, then next training, then organize your day. In chapter 9, planning for growth. See if there's any interesting information in here or interesting stories. So watching your business grow is a rewarding experience, it says. In the back of your mind from the beginning is some idea of what you want a business to be when it grows up, M dash, my store, M dash, running smoothly, comma, organized, comma, and profited, dot. You've pictured it many times, an old Victorian house busy with gracious, patient, rich customers, dots, or was it grand, comma, black, dash, glass, building with a huge but subtle sculpture in front, dots, or that chain of mall stores, question mark, this or that. Whatever the idea is, it will take some expert planning to pull it off, dot. So it's interesting information there. That's true when you have a reason for starting a business. So then the next topic is new locations, new markets. And next topic is new products, same location, and same products and location and new strategy. So then next we get to making your move, stabilize your present business, clarify your present market, streamline your operations, streamline your inventory, streamline personnel. Then we get to chapter 10, economic survival. See that there on page 51. Then we get to topics of getting real, sticking to your market, stifling all expenditures, using chop services, consolidating orders, enlist employers or employees, reduce payroll or increase payroll, increase customer purchases, raise prices or reduce prices, efficient ordering system, get money fast or get it slow, check your backlog of orders, inventory clearance, and rearrange in stock often. So here's another good topic. It says under the rearrange in stock often section, it says move the products around so things appear new. They will not look new to your customers, not only look new to your customers, but your employees will also see them differently. Arrange the walls by artist, color, or subject matter. Do it at least once every 2 weeks. So in retail, it's a pretty standard practice where you just move things around, make it look fresh, keep it fresh and new. Then next we get to the topic of renegotiating your rent or whatever agreement you have there, setting up a ready-made department, using machinery, and paying whoever is overdue, like your suppliers, and of course keeping a positive attitude. Then we get to part 3, advertising. So advertising. Next topic is how much is advertising, question mark, that much or this much. Then your location, the demand, competition, business cycle, your budget, and when to advertise. Then we get to chapter 12, advertising plan. On page 65, then it talks about the topics of planning advertising, what to advertise, unique qualities, advertising options, billboards, metropolitan newspapers, city and regional magazines, radio, promotional pamphlets. And then we get to part 5, commercial sales. It's an interesting topic. Chapter 13, corporate sales, is on page 71. So let us skip along here. Then we get to the topics of job description, evaluation, the sales plan, keeping records, and networking. And chapter 14 is volume framing. That's on page 75. And we get to the next topic is figuring out your costs, organizing the shop, choosing suppliers, making sure you get paid, taking care of follow-up problems and issues. Then next we get to chapter 15, leasing framed artwork. That's on page 79. It starts with a question, what is the lease? Question mark, this or that. How does it work? Question mark, this or that. On page 80 and on page 81, it says, what are your responsibilities? Question mark, this or that. Leasing to, then it gets to topics of leasing to new businesses, finding a leasing company, financing the lease yourself. And chapter 16 is the credit department. On page 83. And then we get to the next topic is an investment credit. Next is credit terms. Next is credit period. Next is cash discounts. Next are specifications. Next are other terms and overall credit policy. And then we get to part 5, questions and answers. So these are the best of the Ask the Experts from 1983 to 1993 by Vivian C. Kistler. So these are questions she's going through back then. So make sure you see that. This is part 5. So it starts with general business. General business. And these are a whole bunch of questions on here. It'll probably take a lot of time. You can see like these are chunky questions, right? Chunky questions and chunky answers. So because they're chunky questions and answers, it can take a lot of time. So I'll just skip along. Then we get to the section of personnel on page 94. Then we get to management on page 98. Then we get to production on page 101. 101. You see that there. Then we get to gallery on 103. A whole bunch of questions in terms of the store and the business and customers. Then we get to merchandising on 114 or 114. Then we get to customer relations on 123. Customer relations, 1, 2, 3. Whole bunch of chunky questions in here. Probably take a little bit of time. Location on page 132. Advertising on page 135. Next, we get to corporate sales on page 139. Next, we get to finance on page 146. Then next, we get to accounting on page 150. Then next, we get to pricing on page 144. Then next, we get to the index, and that's at the back, with all the terms. On page 159, which goes letter by letter, you see in here. Okay, key terms in there, those are all key terms. So let us skip along. Buds. Okay, then we get to the appendix, buds. And then that's pretty much, and then the author stuff, all their stuff. That's pretty much it. Okay. Yeah, then stuff that the books and the products that the author was selling at the time. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole book. But, okay. So I thought this was a good read. That's the Articles of Business by Vivian from Vivian Carli Kistler. And those are the topics that it discusses. It's a pretty good read. If you have any time, I recommend you pick this one up. Go through some of the information there. It's pretty good information, good topics. I enjoyed it. It's nice, quick, and simple. It's like a short book, so it's really good. And yeah, you can let me know what you think if you ever get around to this one. But other than that, thank you for tuning in and spending some time here. I hope this information was useful to you and you got a lot out of it. You got the most out of it. And I hope it helps you in your day-to-day. But till next time, have a good one.